Hey there, Aries. It's April, the Organic Alchemist, and I am here with your love and relationship reading for the new moon to the full moon in March. That would be the 6th through the 19th, 2019. If you are coming upon this video at a later date, just know that some of this information in the past may resonate with your current scenario. That said, if you do like what you see, please hit that thumbs up button. It lets YouTube know that I am making content worth sharing. Please, if you want to see more, click that subscribe button. And I always love getting your comments and knowing what you guys are resonating with, what you guys are finding helpful. That really helps me determine what to do more of. And finally, before we get into your reading, if you would like to follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, if you would like to book a personal reading, all of that information is in the description box below. All right, Aries, well, let's get into it. We already pulled your theme for this love and relationship reading, and we are going to get the direct message from your guides here, and we are going to get started. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so this always trips me out when I shuffle the cards like 8,000 times, and I'll still end up with the same card from the last reading on the top. All right, lets me know that's obviously where that card's supposed to be. All right, Aries. So express your love through gifts. So this is reminding you to do those small little actions, those small little token gifts. It doesn't even have to be something physical. It can be showing up for lunch, taking somebody to lunch, little things, you know, little flowers, little things like that to let the person you know, not only that you care, but that you truly appreciate their presence in your life. And then your guides are letting you know that there is either, all right, there, sorry, Aries. You're like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want that card. Well, tough, you got it. So there is either a new love coming into your life. There's either someone, something that has definitely sparked some passion in you. I always say that this can be romantic, but it can also be friendship, job related, family related. But there's definitely been a spark of passion that is either that has the opportunity to bloom into a new love, or this may be kind of a rebirth of an old relationship or an old love. So let's see how this energy is showing up for our Aries. Spirit, how is this energy showing up in Aries' life? Ooh. Wow. Okay, so you guys got the World. So this is a time of expansion. This is a time where a lot of limitations have been removed, and you are really expanding your world. And that may be it may be in relationship, it may be at work, but there's definitely an expansion that is occurring right now. And that is into some good stuff. That is like, opening the doors where you are letting go of your limitations and expanding and really working to create the reality that you desire and that's going to be beneficial and a part of your highest path. So let us see, Spirit. Okay, like how many cards? Nope. You guys with the jumping cards. So Spirit, please show us how this is showing up in Aries reality. How is this showing up in their world, Spirit? How is this showing up for them? All right, so Aries, right now, you are really not feeling kind of that equal give and take. And whatever it is that you're working on, either you or the person that you are hanging out with or the scenario that you're in, someone is giving more than they're getting back. And they're definitely aware of it and feeling it. There may have been some things that were really concerning you, really on your mind, keeping you up at night, keeping you just entrenched and worried. But it looks like you are in a place of starting to let that go, to starting to move beyond that. But it's still getting to you. Like, you want to move beyond it, but you are still definitely stuck with that. And then right now, we have the Chariot in reverse. So there is something where whether it is with something's not moving forward. Now it may be a part of the fact that you just can't kind of pull all of the pieces together, but I feel like since there is I feel like this lack of give and take, and whatever this worry and concern is that you're trying to let go of, but you're not quite able to, is just keeping everything kind of stagnant. Like it's at a halt. It is not moving forward right now. So let's look at the divine feminine archetype that is coming up for you to work with and work through, Aries. So what is... Ooh, interesting. And the divine masculine. Sorry, I'm really caught on your divine feminine card. Interesting. Okay. So, you guys have Hera in reverse, which is commitment. So either you or the person that you are dealing with is having commitment issues. That is definitely part of what is being worked through here. Now remember, if you're dealing with someone who's having commitment issues, you're just projecting your own stuff out to them. So it's still stuff that's going to come back that you've got to work on. The same with the equal give and take. So really looking at, if the person that you're dealing with is having commitment issues, look inside. Like maybe there's a part of you that is projecting that out, because there's something about that you're like, I don't know. Like I feel like I want to be really committed, but I don't. And it may be you that's like, that may be part of what's causing the concern. Either the fact that the person doesn't have commitment issues, or that you're just looking at the fact that maybe you're not the one who's giving so much and not getting as much in return. And that is really, affecting your ability. Like you want to commit, but you're just like, oh, I don't know. And then you have Aries. So this is Aries in the upright. So there is something here. This is kind of that balanced warrior fire energy. So I do believe that there is potentially something here worth fighting for, worth working for. So let's look at how this all showed up. We got a little bit of your work. I usually do the backstory first, but obviously you needed this commitment stuff first. and to understand that, Aries is here to let you know, like this might be worth fighting for. If he was in reverse, that's kind of fighting and arguing, or this lets you know that the fights and arguments you're having right now are legit. Like they need to happen so that you can actually work through. That's the other thing that came through to me, is that if there are some arguments and disagreements that you're having right now, they're coming from a balanced state. They're coming from a good state. It's something that needs to be worked through, and definitely keep it in that healthy space. But it's definitely something that needs to work through. Okay. So part of what led to all of this is someone kind of had an unhealthy focus on the past, or they're moving out of. So it's either an unhealthy focus on a past, or you're moving out of, basically seeing things as better than they were. Really kind of painting that rosy picture of what happened in the past. And you're really moving, you moved away, or you're trying to move away from focusing on the negative and from the conflict or the competition that is occurring there. But again, even in your present moment, like even though you're trying to do this, you're still not getting the equal give and take that you're looking for. And again, I think that comes into that commitment, and that comes into knowing that whatever arguments may be going on right now, they are definitely serving a purpose. They're not necessarily an unhealthy thing. Whether you're doing them and I think you guys are even, I'm hoping you're acting them out in a healthy way. It looks like you could be, but the fact that this commitment, and that, like, I feel like there's just with the commitment, I feel like part of it is just maybe somebody needs to be really honest with themselves about that. So anyway, and you know, potentially also work through whatever commitment issues it is that you or the other person have. And so this is interesting. Your work that's coming up here is really neat. The light work, shadow work. So we're going to look at the spiritual growth, soul evolution work. All right. Okay, so the light work that you are working into is the Messiah, or this idea of serving with humility. And I think that comes back to the expressing love through gifts, the small tokens. Yeah, I think there's an element of service to remember here, of being patient and compassionate. I think that with this idea of moving into the light attribute of the Messiah, it's finding compassion and empathy in a way, no matter how you decide to kind of work this out, Aries, of really coming from that place of humble service and really being there with this other person, because this might be how they're feeling, you know, who knows. But in the spiritual growth, spiritual growth, soul evolution aspect, we have surrender fear. So that is, I kind of feel like one of the reasons why you're not moving forward is that there is this fear that there's not going to be an equal give and take, Aries. I feel like your fear is that you're going to be kind of, that there is some sort of competitive element to this, that you're not interested in, and that you really are a little afraid about whether or not there's going to be an equal give and take, whether or not you're going to get fed as much as you are feeding. And the universe is telling you to stay in the moment and surrender the fear, and focusing on what you are creating. So what are the outcomes? You know, and focusing on what you want to create, and really moving through and shifting those fearful thoughts, each one retelling the story, so you can come up with manifesting something that you would actually want to experience. All right, so let's see what the possible outcomes are. Interesting. So Aries, it feels like in this that you are kind of stepping away from, I want to say, from kind of needing or putting all of your eggs in the basket of this idea of a happy family, or you're kind of surrendering what your idea of the happy family is, because everything else is here. So I don't see this as a negative. I don't see this as you like losing your family or there not being family fulfillment. But I feel like either there's an aspect of you that has been so focused on that you haven't taken care of yourself, and you'll kind of see this in what I'm saying. I really do feel like that's what it is, that you have put so much energy into this that it's actually not fulfilling you anymore, that you've put so much into yourself and so much of yourself into this idea of happy family. And this might be community. This might be your own family. This might be your version of family. This might even be everything that you've put into the idea of family. It just depends on where you're sitting, Aries. But I feel like, so I don't feel like you guys are losing your family or letting go of it. I feel like for the majority of you, it's going to be a rewriting of what that means. And that rewriting is going to allow the space for you, Aries, for you to plant the seed of your own individual achievement and fulfillment, and that you're going to create the balance and utilize your magic and your alchemy to do that. So, wow. Awesome, Aries. So so if you guys do your work, there's this opportunity to redefine and move into that expansion, because I feel like there needs to be a redefinition of that idea of family, so that this complete expansion can take place. All right, Aries. So your final message from Spirit. What is the final message that you have for Aries? Universe. So the universe is telling you, Aries, to be bold and make the first move. So, you know, maybe stepping out of this fear, stepping into, you know, doing all of this work and then making this first move towards whether it's the rebirth of a relationship or a project or whatever it is that you care about, or towards this new love. Again, whether it's a person, project, family member, friend, whatever. All right. So Aries, I apologize if I kept in here saying Taurus. I feel like it came out a couple of times. This is going to be another place where I'm going to say, if you have an Aries Taurus cusp, you might want to look at that. I feel like there is some overlap because there definitely was overlap in my brain as I was trying to do it. But this reading is definitely for you, Aries. Don't worry. And so again, I hope that, as always, that it resonated, that you guys find it helpful, useful, and beneficial. I love you guys. Mwah. I will see you next reading. And until then, keep doing your work so you can live your best life. Take care, guys.